Coming up on Hold All Tickets, all the tips and usual things. But Lamby, we're looking ahead to the next racing season.
We are indeed. We've provided our top 5 seeds heading into next season. So we're lining up with number 1, but it's certainly up for debate after that. So look forward to other people's comments chiming in.
Also, has James Cummings' time at Godolphin been a resounding success? We'll talk about that later too on Hold All Tickets, which starts right now. Hello and welcome to Hold All Tickets, brought to you by Boombet. Great fixed odds, more value and more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, joined as always by James Lamby. It was a good weekend for us last week.
It was a good weekend, followed by a disappointing Wednesday, shall I say. Rogue Rock, I still don't know how that didn't get the bob yesterday. And also Sir Atlas, backed at $4, started about $2.20 and did nothing once again.
Promised the world and delivered an Atlas,
yes,
we shall
indeed.
say.
So he's in the bin.
Yeah, that's not at all ideal, but we will recap last weekend because it's been a while since we've had a weekend like this. So, we may as well pat ourselves on the back. But this weekend, racing coming your way from Randwick and Caulfield have the Bletchingley Stakes. And honestly, we get no break these days because the good horses are back at the trials. We've got group racing this weekend. Group racing's not too far away in Sydney as well. So look, while it's the middle of winter, it's still an exciting time, Lamby.
It is, and we'll discuss some of the good horses later in the show. We're going to give our top 5 seeds heading into next season, which was a very difficult task.
I nearly ended up with every horse from one stable at one point, which wouldn't be a shock to anyone. You could probably guess who. But before we get started, make sure you do follow Punters on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Make sure you do follow us if you aren't already across those platforms. But on YouTube, please give us a subscribe there. Give us a like and a follow as well. So anytime we do a video, it does pop up on your feed. We are doing a lot of work in the back end at the moment, getting really ready for spring. There's going to be a lot of content coming your way this spring. And of course, on podcast platforms, give us a 5-star rating and leave a review. 2 weeks to go in the season, Lamby. We've got this episode and one more left for the Self-Trumpeters. As it stands, Miles Fitzner's leading on 28 from the Hawk on 25. Do we have any movement with 2 days of voting to go?
Quite weak. I think the Trumpeters have gone into their shell knowing that we crown the winner next week. So, yeah, they're just keeping their powder dry at the moment. So just the 7 votes this week. I'll start with 1 vote for Cameron Happ. A bit of post-golf expertise, PGE. He tweeted, Tom Melbourne Fleetwood away in his final round. Can't believe there were so many people wanting to tip him as the winner pre-tournament. So Cam's waited until the final round to make that statement when Fleetwood was well and truly out of contention. So tips before the event,
Where
please.
Was Fleetwood in the run anyway? Was he anywhere? Like, no, I didn't pay much attention.
He had an ordinary first round,
okay.
So he couldn't win after that. So, yep. Not much there. 2 votes. The Leg Up Australia. This was a bit of chest beating here from the lads. They tipped Bodie Boy at Taree during the week, and this was the post-race tweet and video they put up. Off the map, Bodie Boy has been absolutely crunched in the market from $2.45 to $1.45. The big players, including us, have spoken. Backed as if unbeatable, pay the believers. So, yeah, the big players, including us, have spoken. That's a 2-voter right there.
That gets them to 5.
5 votes. 4 votes. Kane Cornes. We've given people votes for strategically recording themselves with their pool in the background.
That was Mick Gannon last season.
Yes. This was next level. On his morning radio show with David King, Fireball Monday, Kane offered an almighty pool-related trumpet when Kingy mentioned Glenelg player Lockie Hosey. A little bit of audio to play here.
He looks after my pool, Lockie Hosey. Spent some
what
time.
An arrogant thing to say.
Spent some
he
time.
Looks after,
no, he runs an outstanding business.
He looks after my pool.
And I'll give.
Kane.
So he looks after my
like
pool, Lockie Hosey. So, yeah, not only mentioning that he has a pool, but he also has a pool boy who cleans it for him. So outrageous from Kane. Probably lucky to only get 4 votes for that. But
gets him into equal 6 this season.
There you go.
But that's he got 7 votes for a 7-year contract he blew up about right at the start of the season. But well, I suppose he does need a pool boy given the amount of time he spends in Melbourne. So
and the amount of cash he has.
Yeah,
but
must be nice.
Yeah, it probably would have been more votes if it was racing related, but because it was non-racing, I thought 4 votes is probably enough. But It's a huge blow of the bugle, that one. That's us. That's us done.
That's us done. We have 1 week to go. Currently, Miles Fitzner, 28, Hawkins, 25, Racing Previews, 15, Xavier Peagam, who's gone to ground at 14, the Wiz Wayne Ormond on 12, and then we have a host of them on 11. Slick Rick McIntosh, Kane Cornes, and Damo Ratcliffe. I reckon Damo would be pretty happy that he's on equal votes with Kano there.
Damo is always a top. If you were betting on this,
he's a performer.
He's a top 10. You'd put him in all multis in top 10.
And Nick McWalter's on 10, and we'd still need to decide if we're going to put that 10 to Racing Previews.
We can't do that because that'd propel them straight to the top.
Straight to the top as well. But yeah, some good performers throughout this season so far, but we have 1 week to go. So hopefully there's a few bugle blowers this week. And of course, before we get into the next segment, we do need to mention Thoroughbred Sales, who are the #1 online horse platform for owners looking to buy a horse, with over 130 eligible trainers and syndicators to choose from. Horses will be eligible to run in their 4 new $1 million race series with over 400 races having a bonus. Check out Thoroughbred Sales today. Now to the good stuff, Lammy. Let's get into the recap of last weekend.
A bit more excited about the recap than we normally are.
Tell you what, I texted you over the weekend. I was feeling pretty flat coming into last week's tipping. Since I got back from holidays, I could not get near it.
Just needed a few runs under your belt.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the coat I put on over summer in Europe was pretty heavy. But we'll start off at Flemington for you. Your best bet, race 4, #1, Shining Smile, was $3.70 on Thursday. Got a bit of a better price. What do we say about weights, Joe Pride? They don't matter.
Weight schmate. Good win. Nice price too. 340 into 3 on the day. So the price held up pretty well.
Yep.
That's 3 wins down the straight. Absolutely loves it. Just a very professional horse that does everything right.
We'll get found out by the better ones in a Danehill but it'll probably pick up 20 or 30 grand in the races like that because it races so well down the straight.
Yep.
Your next best was lose some, win more. Well, you didn't lose there. You won even more.
Weight schmate again. Sold at $4 on the day. I can't remember what price it was on Thursday, but
$4.90.
There you go. 7th at the 400, but got going very late to nail Harry Got Styles, who's also one of mine, but I didn't have Harry in the quaddie. Not that the quaddie paid anything, but I would have been pretty dirty if Harry had to knock me off because I've backed him plenty of times. But yeah, lose some, win more. Nice win down the outside of the track.
And your best value was Relentless Voyager, and you were like, please take a spot. They went back. They hit the line well.
Yeah, it wasn't. I would have liked to have seen him do more late.
Yeah.
But look, I did say it was a 2-horse play, that one.
Yeah.
And Sadati won. Yeah. So I'm taking a partial credit for that race. But yeah, Relentless Voyager wasn't flash.
Get across to Rose Hill. My best bet was Tuileries in race #6. Started about $1.50. Tom Sherry decided to spend the first half of the race trying to find cover. Cost itself 4 lengths, was beaten a length and a half. Good stuff, Tom. Next best, though, was Robusto. The margin may have been slim, but God bless him, he was always going to get the job done there. And the best value, race 5, #6, Yoshinobu, who was $13 early markets, ended up starting about $6. And in the run, as soon as it took the gap upon straightening, it was all over. And it was a nice, comfy watch.
What price did you take?
$11.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Good shopping.
Yeah, there was some deductions there, but it was a nice way to end the weekend, especially when lose some, win more, charge down the track. If only Isaac Heaney could have stayed on and kicked 6. I had him to kick 5 in the second half. Like I just had one of those rare bonus bets. I was like, yeah, you'll kick 5 in the second half.
That's an outrageous bet.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely stupid of me. But anyway, this week's Boom Bet offer, we have heard from our friends at Boom Bet. Of course, they do have their Boom Odds offer, so make sure you do check out Boom Bet. Great fixed odds, more value and more Boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the Boom. This week, it is the Bletchingley Stakes. Barrackeel to win, $4. If you want to take on Barrackeel there and you want to have a bet there, he's $4 to win the Bletchingley this weekend. Of course, terms and conditions apply. Check out Boom Bet today. Let's get to this weekend's tips, Lammy. First of all, in that Bletchingley Stakes, what do you think of that Boom odds for Barrackeel? Yeah,
I can understand why they're taking him on. He's obviously the class horse in the field, but barrier 1, you'd imagine he'll be crossed early. There's a bit of speed in the race. So you'll be behind the leader in the run, potentially looking for gaps. And the stable have said they wish it was 1,100 and not 1,200 because he's a touch underdone.
First up for a while.
Yeah, off an injury too. Yes, and he has had a few injury issues over the journey. So I can see why they're taking him on. I think New York Luster is the horse to beat. I didn't really rate her first up. I thought, this is a big step up. She was going from a benchmark 78 to taking on In Flight.
Yeah.
And she was bloody good. Like In Flight really had to dig deep late to get over the top of New York Luster. So you'd expect that there's further improvement to come. Drawn nicely. It's a pretty adaptable horse, can go forward or back. I'd imagine they'll go forward here, but yeah, I think New York Luster represents better value than Barrack Hill first up. So that's the way I'd be going.
Don't mind it there. Let's get to your best bet this weekend. Comes up early in the day. Race number 2 for what is, let's be honest, a very underrated combo.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Jimmy the Bear, I think, wins again, but I didn't want to make him my best bet. But if you're having...
I think Chihuly in that race is a good each way bet at about $11. Screaming for $2,400, that horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree, but
yeah.
Welcome to your opinion.
Yep.
Yes, Pop Award, 3 starts in the summer for 3 wins. Went from a maiden to a benchmark 74. Resumes in a 78 here, so it's a suitable kickoff point. The form around her is excellent. She beat Zlotys by 2.1 lengths last start. Zlotys then won 3 in a row herself, including a Group 2. So that is bloody good form for a 78. I just don't want the track to be genuinely wet. If it's a soft 5, even a soft 6, I wouldn't be too worried. But she hasn't really been exposed to a really wet track. So if it's semi-dry, I think she can kick off with a win and keep the winning streak going. Hopefully 4 on the bounce.
Yeah, okay, I don't mind it there. We've got your next best coming up in race number 5 with Shin just looking to extend away in the premiership race.
Yeah, he's in reasonable form at the moment, Shinny. So apart from the straight course flop when She's an Artist ran them ragged and smashed the clock, Salsa Fellow's having a bloody excellent campaign. So he was really stiff not to win over 1,100 at Caulfield last start. He was forced to go right back from a wide gate. Zoom late, but just missed with 60 kilos. Drawn to settle a lot closer in this from barrier 3. As you mentioned, Shin sticks, and the extra 100 looks suitable as well. So beaten by Scampy last start, but I can't see Scampy running a strong 1,200, whereas Salsa Fellow definitely will.
We go to your best value. It's in the previous race, 2,400 metre event, and you are going right down in the minimum weight here with the 14.
Yeah, Verona Rupees flopped last start when pretty well fancied, but there was a bit of bumping in the straight and she just didn't finish off. So maybe that bumping just took the sting out of her a little bit. Her run prior to that was excellent. She was less than half a length off Stop the Rock, the stablemate. So plummets in weight here down to 51 thanks to Cartwright's claim and has drawn much better than a few of her key rivals. The horse is sort of up the top of all drawn car park gates, apart from Ant, I think, has drawn quite well. But yeah, if you put a line through her last run, I think she'd be single figures in this. So I'm happy to go at double figure odds, and the fact that they're running her again makes me think that she's not over the top. Because the Pains, they're pretty patient with their horses, so I don't think. I think they must think that she can bounce back from last time.
There's also a Vobis Silver bonus attached to it, and this horse is a Vobis Silver, so an extra 30 grand on top of winning as well. So there's a good incentive to be running there, you'd say.
Yep.
We'll go across to Randwick this weekend. My set coming up there. Rails in the 11-metre position from the 1,000 in the winning post, 8 remainder. So wouldn't be shocked to see them, depending on how wet it gets this weekend, if they do get to that outside fence of the track. But there are some smaller fields early on in the day. The weather doesn't look too bad. There's maybe a bit of rain across Saturday, but it's only about 2 or 3 mils, so it'll be a cold, blustery day there. But we're going to get the best bet out of the way nice and early this Saturday coming up in race number 1. Going with my best bet combo of last week, Tom Sherry and Peter Snowden and Nazwa.
Giving Sherry another chance.
Giving Sherry another.
You just potted him.
I did, but this filly Nazwa looks to be a very, very serious horse. The win on debut a couple of weeks ago, I did mention last weekend, I thought, oh yeah, Snowden's back. He'd had a couple of horses win during the week. This filly Nazwa by Capitalist out of Najum is one of them. So I believe being by Najum makes her a half to Charmstone. I think Charmstone's a Vinny. But anyway, the win on debut was against the older horses. She jumped, she led, she jogged, she smashed them. She ran really good figures on the day looking around. And then you just see here, she's going to take the sit behind Shaggy from barrier 4. And look, she just looks to be a horse. I'm going to be honest, I think she can win a flight stakes. That win on debut was just simply nuts. I thought the way that she went about it was just the ultimate professional from barrier 4 at home, sits behind them once again. She went up 350 around the traps yesterday. She's already in the 215. Like, the punters have really stepped in here. I think this will be a pretty decent 2-year-old race, though. As I know Nashville Jack, he ran really well in a black opal last preparation behind King of Pop, who was really well thought of. And Hello Romeo did some good stuff through the season as well. So this will be a pretty good race. But I think Nazwa is just a filly with a ton of potential.
We're getting a price for the Flight Stakes. Have you had a look?
No, I'd assume she'd be about $8 favourite. That's usually how these
I'll
things
check
work
that
with the
while
futures.
you're going through your next best.
Yeah, next best comes up in race number 6. Another horse who I think will go forward here, and she's unusual for John O'Shea, Tom Charlton. Ben Osmond takes 2 kilos off here. And look, she was really good last start when finding the front when stepping up to the 1,800 metres and just raced away for them and ran pretty quick time there the last 600 metres, broke 34. Now, I don't think she'll lead on the weekend. Hasty Honey will look to lead. William Stanley took the ride on that horse last start and led all the way on the Kenzo track, and I think this is just a one-way only for Hasty Honey. She's led and won her past 2, so I think she's unusual from barrier 2. Can just take the sit in behind the speed here, and provided Hasty Honey gives her a good enough drag into the race, I think she can get over the top there late. You've seen pretty good odds coming up on the weekend. Anything yet?
No.
Still looking?
Still looking.
We'll go to my value. It comes up in the final event of the day, and look, not a lot of confidence in this. It was a hard day to find a lot of value. There's some favourites that are pretty hard to beat across the day as well, but my best value, race 10 at number 5, at Travolta, who I expect should take a closer sit from barrier 2. Jason Collett goes on board with a tongue tie as well. Had the apprentice on board last start, got back, ran on a little bit, but I think the race behind O'Diamond, Lil and Puntin will prove to be quite good. Collett rode this gelding first up when winning at Warwick Farm over 1,400 metres, sat back there, but I think now stepping up in distance to the 1,800 metres from barrier 2, Collett should have him just that little bit closer. We know Jay Collett loves finding the rail in the run and darting up the rail. I can just see him trying to poke his head up the rail here late. Tongue tie on may be an excuse for last start as well, but at about $15, I'm happy to back him each way to finish off the day.
You're going to have to ring up the bookies and get this horse into the market.
Not in the Flight
I'll check
States market.
3 markets and it's not in any of them.
What about the Coolmore? Type in its name quickly.
We'll have a look later.
Yeah, I'll quickly get up. I've just typed it in. Nazwa is $11 for the Coolmore.
Okay, so maybe they don't think stretching out.
Being by capitalist, I understand that. But if she can stretch out to a mile, given how she relaxed on debut, I thought maybe a mile could be her go. Because Snowden does seem to have a fair bunch of horses at the moment that look to go all right. Speaking of that, we will get into the yays or nays this week, and a Peter Snowden horse is the first one that we want to talk about. Are you going to do the pronunciation or am I?
Is it just Amrika?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
We'll win a group race next season, yay or nay?
So she's about to turn 4, which is the curly part of it.
That is the curly part.
But I'll go with yay because you got to think at the back end of the Sydney Carnival, if she goes that far, you got races like the Hot Danish. There's like every second week, there's a Group 2 race for the fillies and mares over 12 to 1,300 metres. What was that thing? Belclair won all of them last year for Bjorn?
Yeah. Yeah, I think 1,200 will be too short for her to win a group race.
But there's also, there is a lot of options throughout the spring. Like there's maybe like a race like the How Now or something like that. There are so many Group 3, Group 2 options for mares between 12, 14 a mile that she can pinch one somewhere. So yeah, she'll definitely win a group race next season. Could even sneak across to Brisbane in the summer carnival too.
Yeah, well, I'm yay. I think a Group 1 will be very tough because she is in that open age group. But yeah, I could definitely see her winning a Group 2 or Group 3, 1,400 to 1,600.
Really
I don't think
flattened out late yesterday.
Yeah, and that look, it was 12.50 on a red hot leaders track. She had no real right to win from where she was at the top of the straight. It was a huge win. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her at 1,400, even a mile.
At Randwick as well. Yeah, she was actually really well tipped up by someone in this office before her second start at Newcastle.
Who was that someone? It wasn't me and it wasn't you.
Dan Sankey.
Oh, right.
Tipped the tour, said this thing's a good horse, it'll win. Fell in, but
I think all of its wins have been narrow margins. Yeah. But does have a very nice
yesterday
motor.
Was impressive.
Do you want me to give you this one first?
Yep.
Because I think we might disagree potentially.
Okay.
James Cummings' tenure at Godolphin has been a resounding success, yay or nay?
I'm going with yay. I think it's absolutely a resounding success when you sort of have a look. He's been there for about 8 years now. And then you take a look at all the horses that he's sort of gone through there. Of course, Animo being probably the most notable one that he took all the way through, winning all those Group 1s, winning a Cox Plate, now going to be one of the hottest stallions in the world at Darley. He's won a Blue Diamond, a Randwick Guineas, a Caulfield Guineas, a Rosehill Guineas, a Golden Slipper, a Flight Stakes at George Mailer. He's won all the Group 1s up in Brisbane as well. The what is it? The JJ Atkins it's called now. So all the 2-year-old Group 1s that you need to win for your stallions, he's won them all. He's won a Golden Rose. He's won a Guineas. I don't think he's won a Coolmore though. That'd be the only one that'd be missing. Oh, Bivouac won one, didn't he?
Yeah, and In Secret.
Yeah. Oh, In Secret as well. I'm thinking more of the cult side of things. Yeah. So yeah, of all like your stallion making races and the races that will make you a success, he's done it. Yes, he could have won more, But I think as far as a breeding operation is concerned, I think he's done a great job because we've also mentioned this before. He is held to the horses that are bred each and every year from Godolphin, but then he's done a good job with the ones they've bought. I remember Exhilarates as well. That was one that they purchased. So I think it is a resounding success from the amount of stallions he's produced.
I feel bad about my answer now. It's a strong argument. I went nay only because you used the word resounding.
Okay.
That's strong, and I don't think the numbers reflect that, but I didn't factor in the breeding necessarily. I just went on the pure numbers. So, and it's a little bit of recency bias as well.
His last 12 months have been
fourth in the premiership last season, 15.7% strike rate, which is very good. Fifth in prize money with almost 17 million. So I went with prize money rather than Group 1s just because there are races that don't have Group 1 status, or they do now, but they didn't. 11th in the premiership this season. Yeah. 11.7%. That's a big dip, and 7th in prize money. So a success for sure, but not a resounding one if you factor in the obvious dip in results the last couple of seasons.
I suppose the only real thing missing is he didn't win a golden slipper with one of his colts. Obviously, Kiyomichi knocked off Microphone that day, so that'd stick in their craw. But I think he's sort of, as far as being a trainer, he couldn't have done much more, especially with what he's given, because you look at the last year, it's like...
It's incredible stock, though.
Oh, yeah. But it's also, Chris Waller can go out and buy all the Vinnies or the Frankels and things like that, and he got lucky, or almost unlucky now. He had one season of 2 darn hots, and then they didn't come back. So it's a bit unlucky. But I think it's...
I'll probably side with you there. With that
resounding.
The word resounding.
Yeah, we can go with extremely successful and just like that level below. Like we'll give him like a A-.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is the interesting one that we want to talk about here. And we are getting towards the back end of the season. We are looking ahead because this is what we do in racing. And it's our personal top 5 horses in the country going into this spring. I think number 1 is just undisputed.
Yep.
We're both there, Sistina.
Yep. Do we want to go? We want to go 5 each.
I reckon we go. I reckon we go down number 5 each. Number 4, and we both. V Sistina's 1. Let's just get that out of the way now. We don't need to talk her up. She's the favourite for the Cox.
5. I've got Antino.
Okay. I got Aliana.
4. I've got Lady Shenandoah.
Number 4, I have Beedman.
Beedman.
Won the was it the Ken Russell, the race on the Gold Coast by about 100 yards.
Interesting.
He's my X Factor one that I've thrown in.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
3, I've got Autumn Glow.
Number 3, I've got Lady Shenandoah.
2, I've got Aliana.
Okay. 2, I've got Autumn Glow.
Interesting. And 1, Via Sistina.
So Chris Waller, 4 horses.
So you put in Beedman, I put in Antino.
Yeah.
And the rest we all
had the same horses.
But I'm upset that I wasn't able to get Treasure the Moment in there. Jeez. Love the horse. Obviously extremely talented, but I didn't know who to drop out of there.
I nearly for a gag put Fangirl in there.
Well,
she trialled well on Tuesday, I tell you what. But I looked at Godolphin to see what kind of stock there. Like I can't wait to see Tentris come back as well, but doesn't sort of like the way Beedman won it. I nearly had Autumn Boy in there as well, but I was like, Beedman's win up on the Gold Coast for me. Just I had to have him in there. And I thought Aliana.
The form's stacking up too. I think he beat Sunrays, who's come out and belted them since.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like Aliana, I hope she runs in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, well, that's why I had her so high, because when I was going through the Caulfield Cup market, I thought if she goes there, she surely wins this.
Well, my concern is that she'll end up running in the Golden Eagle, and I'll go on another rampage about Chris Waller running his 2,400 metre horses over 1,500.
Or she'll run in the Epsom or something.
Yeah. Well, the Epsom looks like it's preordained for Autumn Glow, doesn't it? It seems that'd be her Group 1 before the King Charles and the Golden Eagle. And apparently Lady Shenandoah might be the Everest horse, but I don't think either of them are Everest horses, to be honest. I think they're all running for second anyway.
But we didn't have any, I guess, established sprinters in there.
No Briasa,
no
no
Jimmy
Private
Star,
Harry.
no Private Harry, no Jolly Star, because they are sort of, and they're an even bunch, and they're taking turns a little bit. So, yeah, it was hard to slot one of those in.
Private Harry and Briasa are the two that can sort of they've only just recently been exposed. Obviously, Briasa winning the TJ. Private Harry won the Galaxy and has been put away. So we're going to see them before they race against Car Ying Rising in the Everest. So, like, if they knock off Carrying Rising the Everest, they probably are the best horse in the country.
Yep.
Like as far as that is concerned. So
Big if, that one.
big if. But hit us up in the comments as well and on social media what your top 5 horses coming into the spring are. Look, they could be anything. Like me, I could have put Cliff House in for the little dance as far as I was concerned. Please pump up the prize money PVL. It'd be nice. But we are done and dusted this week on Hold All Tickets. Of course, thank you to Boombet. Great fixed odds at more value and more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. Lammy, let's keep the good times rolling.
Indeed. Looking forward to the Bletchley this weekend.
Make sure you do follow us on social media, punters across all platforms. Like and subscribe on YouTube so anytime we do a video, it does pop up. But we will catch you next week for the season finale of Hold All Tickets.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.